Today on Hidden Secrets, revealed live. Powell announces no rate cut at FOMC meeting. Two other market forces will impact CRE, commercial real estate, in 2026. Today, March 18th, 2026, the Federal Reserve issued their FOMC statement. The committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 3.5 to 3.75%. The current yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury note is approximately 4.18% as of March 18th, 2026. This yield is an important indicator of investor sentiment and economic conditions. The secured overnight financing rate, SOFR, is the actual interest rate that measures the cost of borrowing cash overnight, secured by U.S. Treasury securities. The latest SOFR is 3.65%. For commercial real estate investors, can we find any alpha? Let me reveal this hidden secret to you live right now on Hidden Secrets Revealed Live. HSRL is a production of Safe New Media. Before you keep watching, let me tell you who this is not for. This show is not for you if you take yourself too seriously. If you are a seeker, let me be your guide to discover accurate truth for yourself. Let me help you increase the quality and effectiveness of your life by revealing to you the hidden secrets of the universe. It's the only podcast of its kind right now on this subject, going live on X. Therefore, the most popular live stream podcast live right now on this subject, going live on X. This show is specifically for those who are seeking new perspectives, fresh ideas, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. My intention is to help investors like you stay ahead of the curve and make the most out of emerging opportunities. Today on HSRL. Good afternoon. I don't know if you guys follow what Jerome Powell is doing over there at the Federal Reserve. He says, we're not raising, we're not cutting, we're going to chill at 3.50 to 3.75%. He's like a guy at a party holding a drink he doesn't even like, waiting to see if anyone cooler shows up. The Fed is sitting there at 3.6% like a guy at a buffet who already ate 3 plates of shrimp. And now he's staring at the sneeze guard. Wait and see. What are you waiting for, Jerome? To see if the economy dies or just develops a light cough? It's a neutral stance. You know what neutral is? Neutral is the guy who stays friends with both people in a divorce. You're not helping. You're only making it weird for everyone. We already pressed all the buttons. Now we're going to stare at it like we're waiting for the microwave to beep. They're not doing nothing because they're confident. They're doing nothing because they already did everything. And then you have the 10-year Treasury at 4.2%. It's not ultra cheap. It's not shock high. It's the khakis of interest rates. It's a Honda Accord. It's a rate that says, I have a moderate 401k and I go to bed at 9:30. If you're a commercial real estate investor, I've got a thesis for you. So let me give you this alpha in commercial real estate. And I say this as a guy who knows that alpha is a word MBAs use so they don't have to say, I'm guessing with a tie on. Do you know what fixed rate scar tissue is? You've got these guys who locked in 7% debt in 2024. They're walking around like they have a literal anchor tied to their necks, but it's made of paper. They're motivated sellers. You know what a motivated seller is? It's a guy who's about to lose his house and is trying to convince you it's a unique disposition opportunity. You find a guy who's desperate to sell a building because he's trapped in a high interest loan he signed when he was panicking. The funny thing is, you buy the building from a guy who's desperate to sell because he's trapped in a high interest loan he signed when he was panicking. That's the move. Be the guy who didn't have a panic attack in 2023. And another, the supply gap, AKA the waiting game. This is my favorite. Nobody is building anything because the 10-year is at 4.2%, and developers can't do math unless the rate starts with a 2. So new construction is suppressed. You buy a B class apartment building in 2026 because nobody is building anything new. The beauty of that is in 2028, you own a B class apartment building because nobody built anything new. It's a multi-year tailwind. That's fancy talk for I'm the only guy with a roof for rent because everyone else was too scared to pour concrete. Starts are down. Pipeline is collapsing. 2027 to 29 looks great. Real estate guys always sound like weather forecasters with commitment issues. It's cloudy now, but in 3 years, oh baby, sunshine. 3 years? In 3 years, I might be into something completely different. I could be raising alpacas. Have you thought about this? The floating rate optionality. Everyone's like, it's about structure, not direction, which is a fancy way of saying, I don't know where rates are going, but I bought a really expensive umbrella. People talk about SOFR at 3.65% like it's a magic trick. They say, don't make a macro bet, use disciplined structure. So you take out a floating rate loan and tell everyone it's a disciplined hedged strategy, right? To capture midterm optionality. The funny thing is, you took out a floating rate loan and told everyone it's a disciplined hedge strategy to capture midterm optionality. If the rates go down, you're a titan of industry. If they go up, you're exploiting a dislocation. Either way, you're still gambling on the Fed. But now you're doing it with a cap rate slash funding cost mispricing spreadsheet. And the Fed not hiking aggressively, that's supposed to cap downside. Yeah. That's like saying the roller coaster isn't going up anymore. Cool. We're still 200 feet in the air, man. The bottom line is this: all you have to do is be a disciplined operator in a room full of people who are still vibrating from the 2022 interest rate hike because the Fed is waiting and seeing. The 10-year the 10-year is average. The 2027 supply is collapsing. You're like a scavenger at a very expensive picnic. You want to find the guy who is selling volatility and buy his building before he realizes that volatility is only a word for I can't pay my bills. So we've got these new syndicators telling the old syndicators, you messed this up, but I'll take it from here. You know what that is? A tasteful embarrassment with a preferred return. And at the end of the day, the whole market boils down to this: rates are not low, rates are not high. They're just there. You can't win because rates are moving. You can't win because rates are not moving. So now the edge is discipline. Discipline. That's the least sexy edge in the world. Nobody ever got into real estate like, you know what excites me? Conservative underwriting and a 1.40x DSCR. But that's where we are. No hero trades, no Fed bailout, no rates to zero fairy. Only you, a spreadsheet, and the terrifying realization the deal actually has to make sense. That's my time. I got to get back to work. Share this, retweet on X, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify. You're allowed to make fun of me only if your jokes are funny and you get my name right. So you don't have to do this, right? You don't have to visit my X profile to learn more. You don't have to follow me on X. It's not necessary to follow me on X. But now you can follow at Safe New Media on X. Follow at Safe New Media. Whatever you decide, team up with me to bring about serious advancement for each other. The plan is for our community to share with each other the systems, the processes, and workflows that we are successfully using in order to help each other grow. It's not a cult, but have you ever had that deep, powerful sense of belonging that transforms your entire perspective? That's what awaits you in our community. As you hear me talking now, you might begin to imagine yourself surrounded by like minded individuals who truly understand your aspirations. Picture yourself waking up each morning with renewed purpose, knowing you're part of something greater than yourself. Your future self is already thanking you for taking this step today. The door is open, and all you need to do is walk through it. Belong higher. Join our inner circle on Telegram. There's a link to it at the top of the Safe New Media X profile. The official source for this show is safenewmedia.com/HSRL. I want to give loyal listeners of this podcast something. When I started my podcast, I had imposter syndrome. But then I realized you can just start a podcast. As a side quest, I can help you start your own podcast. Free gift for you. If you want to start a podcast but feel imposter syndrome, for a limited time only, you can get your copy of the Anti-Imposter Podcast Starter Kit at safenew.media. That's safenew.media. What I'm about to tell you next will shock you.
This is not an offer, solicitation of an offer to buy or sell securities. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Investing involves risk and may result in partial or total loss. Prospective investors should carefully consider investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and should consult with a tax or legal advisor before making any investment.
Are you an accredited investor? If so, this is for you. Today, owning a home now costs $52,000 more per year than renting. Families are stuck as forever renters. We're seizing this shift, buying 100 plus unit assets in growth markets. Few get in. Why? We don't need more money. We're looking for investors aligned with our values. We're improving quality of life at scale for hardworking families. So you can secure your place on our waitlist today. Go to Inveresta.com. You can now subscribe to our newsletter. That secures your place. You can now receive your free guide. It's called Location Science 2026, 5 filters to find growth markets for multifamily real estate. Don't ignore the data before you invest. When you subscribe, you secure your place on our waitlist for the next opportunity. Most real estate people tell you to invest in your backyard. I was just talking to someone yesterday and he's like, why don't you buy something in your backyard? And I said, you know what, that would be great, but population is not increasing in my backyard where I happen to live. So that's why we look in emerging markets, because what if your backyard is the wrong location? Avoid losing money in the wrong location. Hit me up on our X profile at Inveresta. Retail investors can send me a DM there to let me know what kind of investment opportunities you're looking for. Accredited investors can get in touch with me today. Call my office, go to Inveresta.com. Accredited investors only. This is not an offer or solicitation to the general public. Last thing before I let you go, I want to invite you to subscribe to Methods of Prosperity newsletter. You owe it to yourself to be rich. Society, our parents, teachers, and peers have conditioned us. They want us to be like them. They need us to comply. They need us to be conventional like they are. As Herb Kelleher, co-founder and CEO of Southwest Airlines, remarked, all the people that were telling me those things were expressing conventional wisdom. And if it's conventional, it ain't wisdom. And if it's wisdom, it ain't conventional. My name is Sean Ellenfen, and I'm obsessed with prosperity. This is the natural state of the human spirit. It turns out there's no limit. There's also many variables. Some keep their day job, others go all in. Some are entrepreneurs, while others are value investors. But all of them have a certain mindset. Understanding what makes them tick grants us insight into our own journey. Methods of Prosperity newsletter is for anyone who agrees that success leaves clues. It's the most popular newsletter to brainwash yourself rich. Become a renegade billionaire. Go to safenewmedia.com/newsletter. To become a billionaire, one must first be conditioned to think like a billionaire. You can now subscribe for free at safenewmedia.com/newsletter. Join our community. There's a Telegram community. Thanks for making this the most popular live stream at this hour on this subject, broadcasting on X, formerly known as Twitter. Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media, unconventional, diversified global digital media company devoted to the practice, administration, and dissemination of the ideologies of its founder, moi, yours truly. My name is Sean Allen Fenn, and this is definitely not a cult. I like you, but don't take my word for it. Decide for yourself.